Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
So,
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Zohran Mamdani and Donald Trump just sat down for a closed-door private meeting at the White House with questions from reporters afterward, and some of what was revealed might shock you. Donald Trump praised Zohran Mamdani throughout the entire press conference, as well as both mutually sharing a formal and respectful space for one another.
Everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York, and congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
This is extremely unlike anything we've ever seen from Trump before, because he knows that Mamdani is super popular and is seen as one of the most prevalent and prominent politicians in the entire country, and that Zohran is much more popular than Trump in this very moment, even if Trump doesn't want to admit it. So instead, he'll just suck up to him instead. It is just genuinely very interesting to see Trump react and act in this way to a Democratic politician, and for Zohran to give that same energy back to Trump. So if you want to see some of the most wild clips from this press conference, be sure to stick around until the end of the video, and make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below to the Really American YouTube channel.
Thank you very much. We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people.
So you can see from the very, very beginning of this press junket here that Trump is already kind of glazing Zohran. I haven't seen Trump talk this kindly about a Democratic politician since his affair with Bill Clinton.
I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I just can't believe what I'm seeing. Zohran is one of the most prominent, left-leaning, outwardly democratic socialist politicians in the country, and here we have a far-right fascist in chief, Donald Trump, saying that he wants to do well and that he's going to help him out. What's going on? This is by far the most diplomatic I've ever seen Trump with a Democratic leader, and just a few weeks ago, he was calling for Zohran's deportation, and that he was an out-and-about communist and a scary leader, and that he was going to turn New York into this, communist, jihadist, terrorist nightmare, and yet here he is, sitting right next to him, and seemingly can't stop praising the guy. I guess it's time to kiss the ring, Trump.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president, I appreciated the conversation, I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
So we got Trump's takeaway, and so here is Zohran's from the meeting. And again, super diplomatic, super kind and considerate of the meeting. And again, it's just, it's shocking to me how well this press conference is going and how strange Trump is reacting. Like he just needs to say the right things. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad to see it. I think that Zohran having this kind of sway is a good thing for the Democratic Party. It's a good thing for New Yorkers. It's a good thing for the country that Trump feels the need to act this way towards Zohran, right? I feel like that is a good thing considering Zohran's policies and his messaging that's clearly working with a lot of the American people. Okay, so that's the initial takeaway from both Zohran and Trump, but then the press pool gets their turn and they start to ask some questions, and that's where it gets pretty nuts. So let's take a look. Here is Trump's response to a question from a reporter in regards to him calling Zohran a communist.
I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I change a lot. I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be, I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. And some very liberal people he won't surprise them because they already like him.
The glaze is like unreal. Trump is not only elevating Zohran's position on a national level, but also defending his positions. Trump is a fascist. We know this. Zohran knows this. Zohran is a democratic socialist. He has been called a communist by Trump over and over again. But here is Trump saying, yeah, he has some opinions that are out there, some that I don't agree with, but he'll surprise you. I'm confident in him that he will do a good job. I mean, yeah, me too, but you're Donald Trump saying that. What do you mean? And then Trump adds that he's going to surprise some conservatives. Trump doesn't even talk that kindly about his own kids. Is Trump trying to appeal to Zohran voters and supporters here? Is he doing this because he recognizes that he has such a strong base and he doesn't want the heat? Because he isn't doing this for his own base, I can assure you that. They all hate Zohran. So what is Trump's game here? Or does Trump just know that Zohran has huge leads on him in terms of popularity? I can't tell, but just wait, because it gets even crazier. When Mamdani is asked about his previous remarks calling Trump a despot and a fascist, and that if he wants to retract any of those remarks, he says this.
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers.
He doesn't say no. He doesn't take it back. He actively uses a very diplomatic and politician-like answer to kind of just swerve around it and say, yeah, listen, yeah, I kind of do think he's a despot. Yeah, I kind of do. Because I got to give cred where cred is due. It is so funny to me, but it is also brilliant how Zohran takes this question, says, listen, we have our disagreements. Yes, I think he's a despot fascist, but I also respect that he had this meeting with me. And then he ties it beautifully into how he's going to help New Yorkers. Zohran has this beautiful ability to turn what should be a gotcha question into him talking about the needs and desires of New York City residents. I just love that he always has this ability to talk about the city that he loves, but Trump also has a response to that question.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting. Maybe I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, Trump has a point. I can think of like 100 worse things that I could call Donald Trump than a despot, but due to YouTube's terms of service, I think I'll keep my mouth shut for the time being. We then see Trump actively defending Zohran yet again from this kind of aggressive question from Fox about the NYPD.
Are you going to allow those police to be replaced with police officers, actual cops? And are you going to require that that happens? Would there be some consequences?
Well, I hope it happens, but again, that's going to be ultimately the mayor's decision.
Trump never defends anyone unless they are giving him a bunch of money or are named Epstein or Ghislaine, so seeing him stop a reporter and basically say, listen, his decision as the mayor, that's going to be his choice, and, we're going to support him. Like, unheard of. Actually unheard of. I still can't wrap my head around this. Maybe you all can help me here, but I really just do not see the game he's getting at. Moving along, here is my favorite clip from the whole thing.
He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
And Mr. President, I wanted to ask you also...
Like, what the hell is going on? Trump just letting Mamdani call him a fascist to his face, and everyone else in the room just laughing it off. Mamdani literally goes, all right, Mel. Yes, I do actually think that. Mamdani immediately goes for that political answer, that diplomatic answer of, oh, we have differences of opinion. And then Trump just being like, nah, it's okay. I suck. You know I suck. Just call me a fascist. It's fine. And Mamdani goes, okay, all right, sure. Well, yeah, he is. I think, like... It's ridiculous. Mamdani, I feel like, is the only person in the country that could get away with that. And yet here is Trump still supporting him after Mamdani has called him a fascist to his face. But then right here, Mamdani dunks on Trump even harder by getting him to fold on ICE policy without him even realizing it.
We discussed ICE and New York City, and I spoke about how the laws that we have in New York City allow for New York City government to speak to the federal administration for about 170 serious crimes. The concerns that many New Yorkers have are around the enforcement of immigration laws on New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, and most recently we're talking about a mother and her 2 children, how this has very little to do with what that is.
What we did is we discussed crime. More than ICE per se, we discussed crime. And he doesn't want to see crime, and I don't want to see crime.
Trump has now publicly agreed with Zohran on his ICE out of New York policy, and that the city is much more focused on purely fighting crime and not, I don't know, racially profiling immigrants or deporting random people like mothers and their children. And Zohran is saying, and Trump is agreeing, that they are purely working on fixing crime in the city and not through this broad ICE movement or deportations, but just through active systems that are already in place and better utilizing the structure that's there using the NYPD, which Zohran has said that he's not going to scale up. He's just going to utilize those officers for the roles that they are intended to do, which is a crime, and then have social workers and people who are trained in affairs like that to deal with the more everyday problems that the city faces and not these large crime wave things that Trump has been talking about. Because Mamdani knows what he's talking about here. He is well-spoken and has a strong belief system and doesn't back down to someone like Donald Trump. And that's why Trump looks like he's the weak one in this situation and Zohran is holding all of the cards. The entire conference comes to a beautiful climax with this question that really showcases how Mamdani was able to sway Trump on his governance and ability to lead right here.
Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I thought New York was going to become this communist, jihadist, Islamic shithole hellscape that every business and millionaire and billionaire were going to leave and flee to Boca Raton, and everything was going to go to hell, and crime and illegals were going to run free, and immigrism and immigrism. I said immigrism. I'm going to keep that. But here we have Donald Trump admitting on camera that he would feel comfortable living in New York City under Zohran Mamdani. Doesn't that just give the game away that this was all a bunch of racist panhandling from the GOP, that Zohran wasn't going to be a successful leader? Like, what will his base think? What are conservatives around the country going to do now that their big daddy, their piggy in chief, has just admitted that he has faith in Zohran's leadership, that he would feel comfortable living in New York City? What does that say about other leftist leaders and democratic socialism as a whole in this country? I still cannot wrap my head around this conference. It feels like a fever dream where Zohran just looks like the unequivocal winner and Trump is on the back foot the entire time, just trying to retain some popularity. I genuinely cannot believe it. But again, I'm glad the meeting went well. I want to see Zohran succeed just as much as anyone else, and I don't think he needs Trump's help at all. But not having him as a sworn enemy, causing roadblocks along the way, is also a good thing, because maybe Trump can just fuck off and let Zohran do whatever he wants and lead how he properly should. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see on that one. But I think that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and comment down below what you thought about this crazy meeting, as well as do not forget to subscribe to the Really American YouTube channel. Have a nice day.